What's up, guys? Have a glitch there at the beginning there. Welcome to the live. We are live. Spin this around a bit here. So we are creating a new garden space today. So mission. Hey guys, welcome to the live. How is everyone doing? uh, so yeah, we're getting preparation for some early yeah, we're getting preparation for some early cold hardy crop. So we have some veg seedling inside too, overdue to transplant. So I'm out here getting that process going so that we can get them in the bed probably no longer than tomorrow morning. If so tonight I'm gonna look at the temperature, how low or weather gonna go, and see tonight if it's a good time to transplant them. So but for now we're here preparing this space. So you can see I already have some sticks and twigs that I already placed on the ground. A little extra cardboard to suppress the weeds. Like you can see over a neighbor fence here, you see some extra weed already coming. So knowing what happened in the past, more easier for me and just save myself the extra work, after I fill this in with new soil, to have to worry about weed coming out. So it's always a good thing, guys, using organic cardboard. Using art cardboard for this type of purpose. To say organic in the sense that cardboard does break down and go back to the soil eventually, so become a compostable material. So a lot of people use cardboard in home organic composting. So yeah, we're here today live, creating this space. We have a few different soil adamants here that we're gonna use. Got some cow manure, some regular topsoil. This one is a bit sandy, so I'm gonna use this one at the first, and then a bit more mulchy type soil. This have a little more woodiness to it, more tree bark texture. So I'm gonna use this one on the surface. But at this is, guys, I have grown vegetable in the past, but I can tell how much you have recede and shrink beneath this wall, and whatever is going with this wall, overall we are a bit lower than the neighbor. So with soil and moisture, rain, sometimes we get a lot of water, or this wall maybe wasn't installed properly enough, but the wall is kind of moving. So I'm thinking of future plan that I can create to solve this problem as well, and for this season now I just want to get some vegetable in this area, but I have remember the soil all the way up to the top here, and it just recede and shrink back, down. So we're gonna refill it, and as you can see, as I say, I had some stick going already to kind of help me using less soil, help me fill in the space, also create an organic and a natural underlayer, that's gonna compost or leave stick gonna eventually break down into the soil, feed the soil, feed all that organic living in the soil, and all that worm that's gonna come up, all that extra, gonna feed them. I'm gonna add a little more extra leaves that I have here from all this dry leaf I saw my neighbor was getting rid of, in the fall. It was all chopped up in the lawnmower, and I said, hey, throw them here. So this is what this is, all compressed dry leaf from the fall. So I use it as well to create mulch and to add to this a bit, and also to add to my compost bin. So that's the mission today, guys. So have this thing in the way making noise. That's the old goat that fell off that I need to get rid of. There you go. Getting this thing to land in the tripod. Here we have also some soil that I mix the other day, utilizing this giant box. It's all organic soil. Add some of this one to the bed as well. Well, yeah, I was gonna throw away this box, but then I needed some space to store some soil in the meantime. So I was like, you know what? Why not utilize the box and keep the soil, in one area, keep it dry, even though it was left open and we got some rain last night, but I could have seen this shot. But I didn't. Also that I could have easily covered it with something as well. Well, we're gonna use that in a moment. But for now we're just gonna keep this up here. Steady in the tripod. Hey guys, welcome to the live. If you're here rocking with us, remember to subscribe to my channel, like and share. Appreciate you being here, sharing this moment. Alright, just gonna go ahead and add some organic. Yeah, that was some extra, leaf and stick that I had in that box. As I said, just limiting the amount of dirt that I have to use in the space. So adding that extra pieces of stick and dry leaves, kind of help me limit that whole process and also create a better organic foundation for living organism, and all the beneficial insect in the soil, beneficial critters, earthworm, all the microbes and all that good stuff. So yeah, more dirt, more soil. Not looking bad at all. So that's another layer of leaf. You know, I have some straw on the other side of the house. I might should run to get some and add a little bit as well. Hold on, guys. I have that old bag of straw you have on the other side of the house, so might as well give it new purpose right now. A regular bag of straw. Make me fancy. Have that light twitching because it's night. It's motion detect sensor, so it's just turned on, so it's kind of tweaking right now that it's sensing the freshly movement, so it's kind of not centered, you know. But hopefully it doesn't continue to do that on and off blinking thing, cause that's not the purpose of it. So we got some straw down anyway. Now we're gonna bring in closer and show you. Show you guys my surface layer, what I have going right now. If you're watching, welcome to the live. See that thing going on. So I'm creating a new garden space for my cold hardy veg. You know, like my spinach, my kale, my cabbage, some sweet chard. They all might not fit in this space, but all the way down I know I can fit a good amount of cold hardy veg. You know, that I can get going in the ground at an earlier state. We're still in early April. You know, I have already got them going in the house. So there's some good size seedling that ready to transplant. And I have some cabbage. Typically cabbage are directly sown, you get better result, but I have some cabbage. Badly, but also badly need to transplant. You know, so that's the next thing. You know, having those cabbage. I really need to get them going in the ground because they're still in the seed starter and they already growing roots a bit overgrown in for that space. And I said that, you know, cabbage is more of a direct sown type of veg, you know, in the soil because it does send out root pretty quick, and the top root can be damaged from transplant. So, and it, you know, you have that top root go pretty deep. So, but here we are. You know, we start with some stick. So deeper down, I put a layer of sticks, kind of, you know, to limit my amount of soil that I have to use. Use some cardboard to the side here between me and the neighbor fence. our fence, but it's our fence line between me and the neighbors. But anyway, put the cardboard to help suppress the weeds. Like for example, that weed that would normally try to push through and come up in my soil. So we got some leaf. Last season I told them to throw the extra leaf that they were taking up in the fall. And it was raining leaves. They were mowing the leaf into the driving mower, and just have him dump off that extra bags, in here. So that's what this is, organic leaf that's been composting all winter. I'm gonna add the rest to my compost bin. I pile so that I can get this space as well to get some veg in and get them going, cause it's a decent space, from on the other side of this chalice as well. But there's probably like a 15-foot space length. It's not the widest, maybe 2.5, 3 feet wide. So oh yeah. It's getting a bit dark, so I'm gonna spread this much as I can. This is just a little tiny layer of mulch. Guys, of grass. To say straw. I don't want to put too much of a thick layer, but enough where I feel that I don't have to cover all this space with soil. And also this extra organic thing, or extra organic component, will break down and feed the soil after a period of time. So that's the next good thing. But I already see how much it's limit me to where I don't have to use a whole ton of bag of soil, and I'm also gonna add some mulch on top of it at the end, and some organic compost that I have from my compost bay on the other side. I always try to make that organic compost, organic black gold soil, which is the best adamant to your garden bed. If you can be able to create your own organic compost. Yeah, kind of losing daylight time here, but yeah, not bad. Alright, welcome to the live. Let me know where you're watching from. Give me a thumbs up. If you're just joining the live as well, like and share. Subscribe to my channel. But at the moment, we are creating a new garden space here, developing what we already had for some new vegetable that need to be in the ground already. Early spring, still cold outside, so we can't get too much vegetable in, but like our cold hardy vegetable, or spinach, or kale, or cabbage, all that stuff, or a sweet chard, some beans, so basically all our Asian greens and all that, or cold hardy crop. So I already get some leaf mulch, as you see how deep I'm coming from with this, guys. As you see, pretty thick layer, as far as mulch go. That's leaf. That was a piece of plastic or something, but it's a piece of leaf. Oh yeah, that's how much deep all the way up to my wrist. It's coming down from the ground layer. So that's how much I add more organic component just now, from some stick to some dry leaf, as here that was mulch and run over in a lawnmower, collect in the bag, and I got them dumped off here in the side. So they've been mulching all winter. So I add some as well on here. And just now I top it off with some straw. But yeah, that's how much I save myself extra. And then I don't have to use all soil and all dirt. So I can just fill up the rest with soil, which already have some sitting here. But yeah, I'm very excited to get those cold hardy veg in. Get back this thing anchoring to the in the tripod. If I can get it as quick as I can. Here we go. But yeah, this thing have an angle, guys. It need to connect into a specific position, so otherwise it won't fit in. So I seem to always have trouble getting this thing to connect. Zoom that in a bit. Oh yeah, welcome to the live. We just joining. It's Nick from Yardman Garden and Arts TV, and we are preparing a new garden space for cold hardy Asian greens and all, all that stuff, or lettuce, cabbage, sweet chard, all our cold hardy crop. Still early spring, so we still have potential frost. So just trying to get this going. So I have some sandy soil I'm gonna use at the first layer. And then we also have some cow manure. We're gonna add that in as well. Add some organic tomato and raised bed soil mixture. That one have more roughness to it, a more coarser texture. So that one I'm gonna put on the top as more mulch type effect. Oh, that looks a bit too much exaggeration there. I think I'll just use man strength and rip that thing here. Yeah, playing around trying to cut it with my machete. That's too much acting there, I think. Huh? And I really know though, the machete, that's how much the machete is kind of dull. But I rub it against the bag, it wouldn't just rip through. But we have manpower with our fingers, so we don't have to do that. We don't have to keep that, make it seem so difficult. But anyway, I'm gonna add those layers of soil. Now, welcome to the live. Blessings to everyone, wherever you're watching from. We appreciate you. Subscribe to my channel, like and share. Welcome to the family. Join the journey, you know what I mean? So you're gonna have a lot of vegetable this season to enjoy. A lot of organic greens. So stay tuned. Yeah, that first one wasn't a whole ton, but the whole mission for that one was more of a thin layer, because it's a more sandy soil. So it really doesn't have much complex to it, you know. One of those cheaper bag of soil that you find at the home department store. You know, and needless to say, zoom that in a bit. Needless to say, that one is more sandy, so I'm using it more of a thin layer on the ground surface underneath. So yeah, so that's my mission. And even that one is a more cheap topsoil. Using it before I get to my more rich and beneficial soil, and also my organic component and my organic compost that I'm gonna add to the top surface. All right, so there's more of those basic bag of soil on the other side of the house. So I'm gonna run and grab a couple more of them, guys. So stay tuned. Welcome to the live if you're here with us. And we appreciate your patience, appreciate your time that you spend to check out the live and stay with us in the real moment. So keep continuing to support, subscribe to the channel, and do the right thing. We appreciate you. I'll be right back. foundation. Got 3 more bags of regular soil. You guys really can't see it at the moment, but I dumped 3 bags of soil right there. And a topsoil. So same thing, not too much of a fancy soil, but we're gonna use it to create a base layer in our garden bed here, and then add the more rich and beneficial soil on top of it. And over time, the soil and all that rich organic microbes and all that, it's gonna, you know, grow and develop in the soil. You're gonna have new earthworm coming in, you know, feeding from the organic matter and compounding it in the soil. Beneath, I have stick. You know, that was the first layer that I used, and I use some of this dry grass mulch or leaves from the yard that was chopped up in the lawnmower. I use some of that as well, and I also use some straw. That was the first layer underneath the soil that I'm adding now. So it's a whole bit of richness for this new space. And this space, guys, is inspired by some cold crop greens that I have inside that need to go outside right now, or just need to transplant into bigger container. So I'm gonna take the gamble and put them outside, hoping that I don't have too much frost that would take them out before the real warmer weather come in. So we're still in early April, you know, and more middle of May is the safest time, you know, after Mother's Day around that time for our zoning, which is zone 5B-6 here in Illinois. You know, so yeah, we're gonna continue adding some more cheaper soil before we get to our richness, our black gold soil. So welcome to the live. Remember to subscribe to my channel, like and share. Support is highly recommended and appreciated. All right. You guys, we're looking super crisp. Right now we have a good layer going. So I'm gonna continue. And we have a bag of cow manure. We're gonna add this whole bag of soil I have from last season. Right. That one was actually in a container that I used to grow some plant last season. But that plant definitely didn't utilize all the nutrients in that soil, so that's still rich. So it's also good for that base layer. Nice, look at that. That's definitely a rich layer, my friends. So definitely excited with the progress. Definitely excited that bed that's already few inches of rich organic stick and leaves and straw. Now adding this soil, creating another thick layer and a higher inch up to the height that I want. So it's awesome. I'm excited to transplant these veg outside here tomorrow morning. Welcome to the live. Give me a thumbs up. Know where you're watching from. Subscribe to my channel as well. I appreciate you. I'm creating a new garden space here for my fresh winter greens, or to say my fresh cold hardy crop. My lettuce, my kale, cabbage, sweet chard, all that good stuff. So we're here. Night kind of coming down already, but we're still going at it. We're not phased by any of that. But if you're coming to the live, welcome. I appreciate you joining the live, and yeah, hang out here with us for a while, and while we get going and continue creating this great space for some organic growing. This space, guys, I'm excited to show you the result as the season go. It's gonna be a ton of fresh greens here, so I'm excited. It's not the biggest space, but it's probably 15 foot long. There's another side over here behind this trellis, so it's a lot more. But what I'm working on right now, probably 15 foot long. Included that small space there with the leaves, which I'm gonna move the rest of that leaf tomorrow and get it into compost, so that I can utilize that next 4 feet of space there. But down it in there to this where I'm knocking on the trellis right here is around 15 foot or more, so little less, but still can grow a lot of food. So I'm excited for that. Excited for this growing season, guys. I have a ton of vegetable that I already start inside. I'm looking to start some more tomato seed tonight. Hence why I want that space in my local grow tent to free up so I can get to add some more, seed to get going. We're already losing that window where it makes sense. If we don't get seeds going inside, I might as well wait to put it outside, guys. We're already losing that window. We wouldn't have much time to keep it inside anyway before the weather get warm enough, where they need to go outside. So I want to get some tomato seed in that last final lap here. Yeah. some organic cow mulch, guys. Some organic cow manure, which the plan was to get a layer. Hey, this is some organic cow manure. Not after necessary, because this is not me necessarily showing product anyway. So I have in this bag organic cow manure. You know, so before I put that thicker soil mix, you know, with the more tree bark in it, or to say have a more rough texture, I forgot that I needed to add this small layer or thin layer with this bag of cow mulch. So that's what I'm doing right now. Catching myself. Yeah, guys, this is definitely a rich garden bed right here. Very excited about this new space I'm creating. It's definitely a rich bed. So, and I can't wait for these veg to get going inside this bed. So, man, it's gonna be great. Really excited for this this bed right here. Super exciting. I know I said it earlier, but you don't know how much it's gonna improve my production of gardening, or production of vegetable, as far as improvement and quality soil and the growth that I may possess in that whole process, with these plants. Go deep I'm coming from, guys. It's probably harder to see right now as it's kind of in the dark, but deeper than coming up to my whole wrist. It's all that new layer that I just add. Starting off with some stick, some of that mulch, leaf mulch that I have from the fall. This was all chopped up and collect in the mower, and then dump here, and was just sitting here slowly mulching or slowly decomposing. So breaking down. I want to say that as well. So yeah, this whole new space, guys, I just create. So all my greens that like the shade, can go underneath here. I'm gonna have to trim some of these extra ones and this evergreen that's hanging down too low. But starting from deep down there in the corner all the way up to there. That's my new space I just create for my early crop, which is my early cold hardly crop. My have some super greens as well. Those I'm gonna do in container. And I look to do a lot of container growing this season as well, guys. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, needless to say, I'm looking forward tomorrow to transplant these tomorrow in the morning. So you can look forward to join me on that live. We're gonna be transplanting some cold hardy greens. Some kale, cabbage, sweet chard, lettuce. And we also have some beans that we can add out here as well, and some carrot that I actually start inside seed starting container, opposed to directly sown in the soil, into the ground. So excited to see what those are gonna do, because they already sending out a lot of roots, and normally carrot, they wanna mess with their roots once they start to sending out the top root, which is what eventually start to farm into that carrot. So I'm excited, and actually not say excited to say, but look forward to see what the result is gonna bring from that experiment. So those carrots, they're looking healthy inside that greenhouse, but when I see what they're gonna do after transplant into the ground, opposed to being direct sown. If I don't damage any of the root too much. So this is our mission today. If it wasn't dark too much, I would have get some of these veg in. Hard to say I could, but I'd rather share it with you guys so that you guys can watch the journey. But so, and this is a live, so we're gonna end this here shortly, as we already feeling successful or feeling this other mission was. Sorry there for a second. But yeah, we already feeling accomplished what this process that we had here going was. So we have the space going deep down in the corner. As you can see, we already hitting the level of the wall. As this dirt keep receding and keep shrinking over the years. I used to grow some stuff back here over time. Last year I didn't grow much here, especially in this spot. We got some dill that usually come up and they own every year. That was only what was hanging out in this side for a while. But this time I decided to develop the area more and utilize it so I can exceed in planting more crop this season. So that's the mission as well. So I don't limit myself having this extra space and not using it. They already don't have a ton of space, so might as well utilize the most that I got, So that's the mission for this season. To get this area developed and get it ready to plant some seedling that I have already growing inside. So but yeah, not gonna stick around too long much. And if you're right here in the live with us tonight, we appreciate you. And look forward to more live coming in this week, and in the days ahead or overall this season. Look out for some good live coming out of the garden here and some sourcing of the busy night. Some sourcing of plant medicine in the forest. There are some wild herbs as well as some wild berries. Got some wild raspberry and blueberry, all that stuff that grow in the forest here. So over time I always enjoy them. So we're gonna go on some expedition this season and show you guys some freshly picked wild harvest in our local forest preserve that we have, just few minutes over from us here. So stay tuned for some of that, and also more hands-on and more in-depth and insight on some of our local wild herbs and wild flowers, our native plants, what's good for medicine, what they're good for different plants, so you can look out for some videos like that, this season, what I mean. So I'm gonna be covering some of our native medicinal plant that we have here in our own backyard, in the side of the road or in our forest, so stay tuned for that. Have that camera thing going on in the light here. So yeah. We're out here. What I mean? Well, yeah, guys, definitely a great night. So appreciate every one of you tapping in. Appreciate all the new subscribers lately. So we are a bit over 200 subscribers. We want to accomplish at least 500 for this summer. So slowly but surely we're getting there. So I do appreciate all the love and the support, and all the people that been rocking with me over time. We're just gonna get better and better, guys, and more improve. And can look back and see the journey and all where we came from. But yeah, nice, beautiful growth space, as you can see the depth of it. So definitely a good size space. If you're joining the live, welcome to the live. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate you. We're growing some organic greens. So right now we're just prepping our bed to put some cold hardy crop outside. Is my mission. So it's kind of what we're doing right now. So if you're joining the live, I appreciate you. Welcome to the live. We're looking to cut this one, but got a few people tapping in here. So give us a thumbs up. Let us know where you're coming from or where you're watching from. You want to share your thoughts in the comment, and yeah, rock it with us this season so we can all grow and enjoy some fresh organic homegrown food. Sustain ourselves a little and save our pocket a bit from going to the store and knowing that the food that we grow, where it's coming from, and it's been organic and all that, homegrown. So, but yeah, so if you never grow before, you can tap in with us. Start with us. We're gonna be showing some live as well, putting in some seed into the ground here shortly. Still early spring, so. But yeah, if you see it, what I mean, join the journey. Tap in with us and learn, or you can add to what we have already learned. We're all here to learn from each other. It's a loving, positive community, so I love and support. What I mean. So anyone is welcome. Anyone is welcome to share the experience or their thought and what's already going here. So don't be afraid. Feel welcome and feel supported in any way. So Anything that we can help, anything that we can add to what you already learned, any question that we can answer. We're happy to try our best and help with our community here. So, yeah, a positive thought, positive vibe, positive vibration. Definitely excited about this new space. I have grown a ton of it here at this space. From broccoli, kale, sweet chard, and it's right by my kitchen door. So, stepping out of the kitchen door, getting fresh vegetable and spice, herb and spice, running to the kitchen, wash it and put it in my pot. That's the best feeling, guys. Tomatoes, I've grown tomatoes over time here. You know, all different stuff I have grown here before, but last year I didn't grow much, and the soil has been receding over the years. As you can see, how it's kind of dark in that spot. But give you an example. That's the machete right there. That's how deep the soil is missing from the top of the wall. So what we did here, that's how much we have came up with the new adamants that we put tonight. So stick on the bottom, a little layer of stick, some of this dry leaf mulch that came from the next door neighbor yard. It was all cut and collect in the lawnmower in the end of fall. Is where I got that from. So there's a layer of that underneath here, as well as some straw. Here we have some straw right here. A this straw. Put this there to the side. So yeah, we have this straw sitting here for a minute. Finally put it to use. Still have this whole gutter here to get rid of out of the way. Hey, we're looking fresh. Welcome to the live. We're getting prepped to put some cold hardy crop in the ground. So that's our mission here on the live today. Getting this garden bed prep so that we can get these to go in. So see you joining the live. Welcome to the live. We're almost looking to cut this one. So do appreciate you tapping in. Spin this one around and talk to my people here a little bit before I tap out. So yeah, guys, we're here having a look at 1 hour mission today, where we get this garden bed prep for my cold hardy crop. We have lettuce, spinach, sweet chard, some cabbage, some different type of peas that we're gonna transplant out. We already have them in a seedling starter or a seed starter, so we need to get those going. They already growing out too much root out of those smaller space that they're in. So that's what our mission was tonight, to get this space prep. We're not early enough where we're gonna get them going in tonight, so it's a good thing to have the soils sit and just have the adamant just sit, relax overnight and adjust. Tomorrow we got a good head start in the earlier morning and get those plant in, as well as get some tomato seed. I can get start tonight. So that's my mission, to start some tomato seed tonight. We got some Roma tomato, we got some Better Boy, I think some Early Girl, and some beef steak. I think we got 4 to 5 different species of tomato, or types of tomato, that we're gonna sow those seeds tonight so we can get them going. And we wanna do that because we already getting to the final window. If we wanna do that, get that going. Otherwise, it's just too late. It makes sense. We just put the seeds directly inside the ground, outside instead. But if I can get them tonight, I might have a little over a month, of growing inside, and I maybe can get those nice and beefy, before I'm ready to transplant them. Limit our reason to have to buy more plant, at the garden center, which can be a little pricey to the amount that you wanna grow, So the more you grow for yourself, the less you have to buy. So that's the mission as well. So. But yeah, All right, guys. So feel like the mission is accomplished tonight. So don't have a lot of people at the on the live at the moment. So I'm just gonna call this one a night. So we appreciate you joining the live. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for all your support. Continue to subscribe. A new subscriber, we appreciate you. For who all been rocking with me over the years. Solely appreciate it as well. So, all right, guys. Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, maybe on another live as far as transplanting some of these veg and throughout the season. Can look forward. So join the journey. Be a part of the family. Don't be shy. Make yourself known. Share your thoughts. Share your experience as well. We are here to learn from each other, and we're here to grow as much as we can, sustain ourselves and our family, whoever you're living and whoever is in your household and however you go about it. The more you know, the more you grow for free. And the more you grow, the more you know what you're eating and what you're consuming. And we do more organic. So, organic veg is expensive more at the store, and you still never know if what you're getting is organic. So, if you have a little space to grow, and we're also gonna do container growing, show some people more of limit space, what you can do and what you can grow in card container and in a small confined space. So look forward for that as well. So I'm gonna have some hands-on tutorial video, showing all the different vet that you can actually get inside a small space. Like for example, guys, I have this beans, it's still kind of a bit chilly. Oh, I didn't need to turn this around. I have these beans that I have growing up this little makeshift chalice, right at my kitchen window here. So I transplant those recently, and another than live. They were in the seed starters. You can see how tall they are. They were overgrown. So just a couple days ago, I transplant them, and we already have all these new growth coming up. So still a bit chilly. So I don't want to take the chance and leave them outside as yet. Hence why they kind of in this corner here of the kitchen, right here next to this grow tent, which is a 2x4 grow tent. We still have that hole hanging out by my tent. That's a good thing. It is kind of open, but I don't think she came up here. But yeah, sorry, tent. Sorry, tent right now, and the different stuff that we have going inside right now. So as you can see, these were the other beans. This is the little marvel and the sugar syrup. You can see those Brussels sprout here. You can tell they're ready to transplant out of the seeds. Tomorrow, those are some of what I'm going to be putting outside in the ground. Probably some into some container. We have those kale as well. You can tell they're ready to transplant. Some cabbage. We got some spinach. In that very corner over there, all those smaller ones are tomato. Those I want to put in bigger seed starting container. So even though I'm not gonna put the tomato in the ground directly yet, still gonna put them in a bigger container to get them more sturdy and going. So yeah, so this is where these beans were, and I moved them. So I don't walk around too much because I'm wearing this outside boot. But yeah, guys, this is it for right now. I'm gonna take this one right here. See you in the next live. We appreciate you guys for tapping in, all your love and your support, all your being a part of the family and being a part of the journey here. So see you on the next video. So I love to the people. Peace. I greatly appreciate you wherever you're watching from. Stay tuned. Tap in for the season so we can all grow together and enjoy our harvest. All right, see you in the next video. One love, peace. Stay tuned. All right, guys, bless.